What was the most expensive base you've ever created? Was it made out of 100 blocks of diamond? Or 100 blocks of netherite? The most expensive block in vanilla Minecraft would have to be a block of netherite. So in theory, the most expensive base would be built out of the most netherite. But what about in modded Minecraft? This is Animatica 6, a mod pack that contains just over 300 mods. These mods make it very easy to get resources such as diamonds or even netherite. So that 100 block netherite base is lame. In Animatica 6, there are many difficult mods that can produce the most expensive base, but let's look at one. This will be the most expensive Mekanism base. Mekanism is a mechanical mod if you didn't already know. It adds power generation, ore doubling, and much more to the game. But what is the most expensive block in Mekanism? Mekanism has tons of machines, many of which can get pricey. One of these machines being the solar neutron activator, which needs multiple alloys, diamonds, redstone, coal, and at least 8 prerequisite machines to craft. On top of that, this machine can only run during the day and it cannot be upgraded. This is what we in the biz call a toxic breakfast. But this isn't even the most expensive thing to craft in Mekanism. When I think of the most expensive things to craft in Mekanism, 2 blocks come to mind: fusion reactor frames and SPS casings. Fusion reactor frames are used to make the fusion reactor. This machine is the endgame power generator. This bad boy takes steel, glass, tin, coal, redstone, iron, obsidian, and polonium pellets to craft. Polonium is a byproduct of nuclear waste that's generated with a pressurized reaction chamber and a solar neutron activator. You know, the toxic breakfast machine. Thankfully, the recipe crafts 4 blocks, but you do need 75 of them to craft the fusion reactor. SPS casings are a block used to craft the supercritical phase shifter, which converts polonium to antimatter. Antimatter is used to craft upgrades for the mecha suit and can be used in the antiprotonic nuclear synthesizer to convert items like diamonds to emeralds. To craft an SPS casing, you need 4 HDPE sheets, 1 plutonium pellet, and 4 polonium pellets. Similar to polonium pellets, you need a pressurized reaction chamber to make plutonium, but instead of a toxic breakfast machine, you need an isotopic centrifuge to convert nuclear waste into plutonium. And that recipe only gives you 1 block. You need 60 SPS casings to build the supercritical phase shifter. On top of the immense amount of resources you need for just 1 block, the supercritical phase shifter is essentially useless in Animatica. All recipes that require antimatter produce items or machines that are far easier with a much higher payoff in other E6 mods. But, unlike the SPS casing, the fusion reactor frame yields a machine that is actually useful. I think the SPS casing is a clear winner here. If the solar neutron activator is a toxic breakfast, SPS casings are a toxic lunch, maybe even a toxic dinner. I've already mentioned the materials to craft 1 SPS casing, but I didn't mention how to get them. Let's start with HDPE sheets. To make HDPE sheets, you'll need at least 5 machines, a crusher, 2 pressurized reaction chambers, an electrolytic separator, and a rotary condensator. Are these even real words? To make it a bit quicker, I made an extra pressurized reaction chamber. Here's all the materials I need for this setup. To start the process, we need potatoes, and a lot of them. Throw them taters in the crusher and they'll turn to biofuel. Biofuel is moved over into the first 2 pressurized reaction chambers. Pipe in water and hydrogen from the electrolytic separator, and you'll get 1 substrate for 2 biofuel. Substrate is piped into the 3rd and final pressurized reaction chamber along with ethylene, which is piped in from the original 2 pressurized reaction chambers and converted into liquid with the rotary condensator. Finally, we get our first HDPE. But that's not actually the sheet. We have to craft 8 HDPE into a single sheet. Boom. If my calculations are correct, to build a supercritical phase shifter, we only need 239 more. This setup makes 1 HDPE pellet about every 7 seconds. That shouldn't be too bad, right? Should only take almost 4 hours? I guess I can spend that time mourning the death of 768 potatoes. Welp. Now that we have the HTP sheets covered, we can move on to the other two. Polonium and plutonium pellets are a similar process, so I can knock those out at the same time. That's pretty easy. And they shouldn't be as difficult as the HTP sheets, right? The pellets are made with 1,000 millibuckets of their corresponding gas. How do we get polonium or plutonium gas? As mentioned earlier, the solar neutron activator and the isotopic centrifuge create the gases for us. In order for them to create the gas, we need to pipe in nuclear waste. Enter the fission reactor. The fission reactor is part of the middle game power generator, and it's dangerous. I bet the Mekanism developers got into a meeting and said, "Hey Jim." "Yeah, boss?" "You know Minecraft is a super realistic game." Sure." "Well, let's make our fission reactors fucking explode." "Yeah, that's a great idea, sir." The fission reactor generates heat, which I cool with water. The steam generated can be used in a different multi-block machine to generate the power. If the machine gets too hot, kaboom. That's why I have mine set up in this hole in the wall. Not only does it explode and ruin the surrounding area, but it leaks any nuclear waste accumulated and kills everything in a 100 block radius. Nuclear waste can also leak if the reactor gets too full, waste barrels overflow, or when mining items containing nuclear waste, which I must have done about 15 times already. That's why I'm wearing this stylish orange jumpsuit. These bees, on the other hand, let's just say they're not the first generation, or the second, or the third. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How do you make this thing? We'll need fission reactor casings, reactor glass, fission fuel rod assemblies, and control rod assemblies. That all needs these resources to make. This is getting expensive. Alright, now we've got our fission, whatever. Let's start it up and get some nuclear waste.
But wait! There's more!
We need to feed the reactor fissile fuel. Alright, no biggie. Let's just go see what machine makes that. Mother of God. Yeah, this entire mess here is needed to make fissile fuel. These machines essentially turn a couple of items, water and chlorine, into fissile fuel. Those items are uranium ingots, fluorite crystals, and sulfur. The easiest way to get sulfur I could think of was to convert gunpowder in an injection factory to get sulfur dust. To get the gunpowder, I generate gravel in a material stonework factory from industrial foregoing and use an autocrafter to craft 3 gravel into flint and then put it in a crusher. Boom. All that's left is the chlorine. Chlorine is acquired by piping brine into an electrolytic separator. To get brine, you need another multi-block machine, the thermal evaporation plant. I have 2 of them, but only one is needed for chlorine. To get the most efficiency out of the machine, I made it the max height, which is 18 blocks. This means I need a total of 216 thermal evaporation blocks to make them, and the recipe for its block actually is not that bad. It's 4 steel ingots and a copper ingot. And look at that, we get 4 of them. That brings the total cost up to 216 steel ingots and 54 copper ingots. The plant heats up water to make the brine that's pumped into an electrolytic separator to get us our chlorine. And with that, we can finally get our reactor running. So here we are in another hole in the wall, where I'm converting nuclear waste into polonium and plutonium. The ratio these machines convert the gas is 10 millibuckets of nuclear waste to 1 millibucket of polonium or plutonium. Then the pressurized reaction chamber takes the converted gas, water, and a fluorite dust to make the pellet. Each pellet takes 1,000 millibuckets of gas to make, so we need 10,000 millibuckets of waste to produce a single pellet. Like I said before, the fission reactor can be dangerous, so I try not to let it get too hot. I have it at 5 times the default burn rate to speed up nuclear waste production. Any more in the industrial turbine I have cooling the reactor won't be able to keep up, the machine will run out of water to cool it down, then the safety mechanism will kick the reactor off, stopping all nuclear waste production. At my current nuclear waste production, which is pushing my modest setup to its limits, I get about 1 pellet every 2 minutes. That means I can produce 1 SPS casing every 10 minutes. And I don't want to make a 100 block base out of this stuff. I want it to be a spectacle. I'm going to need many, many more SPS casings. I guess that means I'm going to have to wait.
A few moments later.
So it's been a few weeks, I've been mostly AFK in this world, just letting resources build up. I've been making a few improvements here and there. Let's see what we got. So for HDPE, we need 4 for 1 block. So we have about just shy of 4,000 blocks. I definitely don't think that's going to be enough. We do have HDPE pellets, so we can make like 2,000 more, I think. So 12,000 plutonium pellets. That equates to 1 SPS casing per pellet, so that's over 12,000 blocks. I think we should be good for plutonium pellets. Polonium pellets, we need 4, so that's under 4,000 blocks. That's most likely not enough. So I'm here where I'm making the pellets. I switched out the plutonium pellet machine with another polonium pellet machine. So I'm stopping all production of plutonium and making as much polonium as I can, just 2 at the moment. So I think this is a pretty good time to make our first bit of SPS casings. Let's see. Start with 1,000. Alrighty. I wonder why it doesn't just happen instantly. That's interesting. But here we go. And there we are. God, that already looks like a lot when just 1 stack of this stuff took so long. I don't even know what I want to do. I just know I want to do something. Kind of. Boom. I think I actually like the look of the fusion reactor frame a lot better. It's like metally, metallic, I guess is the word. That looks so much better. Oh well. Bit of a progress update. Thought I'd make a little more futuristic. It is Mekanism. And just like that, we're out of our 1,000 blocks. Kind of looks like a beginner level designer map for Counter-Strike with the boxy textures. Alright. 1,000 went pretty quick. I'm gonna go for 2,000. See how that gets us. There it is. And just like that, we are out of our 2,000 SPS casings. This kind of just looks like a block of iron. Maybe less ugly. So I just got started, and I am already running out of resources. This is just the front, barely got into the sides. The floor is plain, could use more blocks, but there's no roof. I need a roof. Guess I'm gonna have to do some more waiting.
4 to 6 weeks later.
What's up, everyone? I am back from waiting once again. Just added a couple more blocks here, finished off the front. Got that done. Started working on some more detail. I do have all the blocks I need, I believe. So, take a look at the damage control here. So I have 42-ish thousand, which is enough for about 10,000 blocks. I think that's all I'll need. I do have my inventory full. I made about 3,000 more, and then I am completely out of HDP pellets, but I have about 41,000 as well. So 41,000 HDPE, 41,000 polonium. That's 10,000 blocks. So hopefully won't need any more. I don't have anything generating in the background, so yeah. It's been so long that I started a new project and finished the editing up to this point for this project. I had to dip into Britannia for my other project, so that's why that's there. But I am ready to get back to the grind. I'm now at 6,000 blocks. Kind of got the sides going, more of the floor. So 10,000 more blocks. We're at 6,000. I'll make another 6,000. Everything's available. Here we go. So I am just about finished with the outside. So you got 1,000 more blocks. So I've used 11,000 blocks already. And it's not looking great. It's very plain, very blocky, because we're playing Minecraft. But there is a mod that I've seen called Chisels and Bits. So you can take this chisel and then you can just I can do the grass. Oh no. Okay, so it looks like the mod doesn't allow SPS casings to be chiseled. I guess because they're in a different mod or they're part of a machine. So I'm gonna cheat. So here I am in my mods folder. I have been digging around. I've been on a couple Discords, did a ton of Googling. It's been like 2 days. And I haven't found anything. I'm just about to quit this project. But there's always a way, and I think I definitely should have done this sooner, so I'm going to take a look inside the mod, which is a jar. Jars are just pretty much a zip file, so I'm going to open this up, 7-zip. And here we are inside the mod folder, or inside the mod itself. So I'm just gonna dig around and see if I can't find anything to make it chiselable. If I can't find anything in the jar, then I will probably be making the mod. So there's this item in Chisels and Bits called a magnifying glass, and it will tell you if a block is chiselable. So I was looking at various different types of blocks. When I looked at the SPS casing, it said something like not chiselable, disabled or something like that, like disabled by the mod. So I also looked at a grass block, and grass block said forced via tags. So I'm guessing in the mod, like in the base mod by itself without Animatica, you can't chisel grass blocks for whatever reason. And then the creator of E6 just made it forced by tags for I don't know why he wanted grass blocks to be chiselable, but so this is my idea. There's probably tags somewhere, and I'm in this tags folder, and perhaps I can find the tags and then just add the SPS casing. Forged paper tag. Forced chiselable tag generator. Oh, these are classes. I can't add classes. So class files. These are Java class files, and you can't really get a class to be like an editable file unless you have the original like .java file. And then when you build a Java project, it turns the .java file into a class. So these classes are gone. They're just uneditable stuff. So that's a bit disappointing. And probably everything in this mods folder looks like a class file. So probably shouldn't be in here. Yeah, these are all classes. Okay. Well, large Minecraft, just little bits. Oh. There we go. We got the grass block. Okay. This is this is definitely very reassuring. Yeah, so now all I have to do is just find out what the SPS casing is. And then this is the JSON file, so I'm going to have to pop in a comma here and then put something like Mekanism and then like SPS casing or something like that. SPS casing, yeah, that's probably something like that. Yeah, but I'm gonna double check this. So be back. Okay, so I've looked inside of the Mekanism mod, and this is the tag for that block. So I've saved this and click OK. So I'll save it inside of the mod, inside of the jar file. And I can just close this and load up Minecraft and see if it worked. Alright, we're back. Moment of truth. Oh, that's a good sign. And there we go. Look at that. I got some basic shapes here. I didn't do anything to that one yet. But a slant, some stairs, some banisters, I guess. And then a little pane of glass here. Slab, and then, yeah, we'll do something with that eventually. So, instead of just chiseling 11,000 blocks by hand, I'm just going to use this chisel station, which I believe you can put in a template and then chisel, and then I'll just take like all the resources out of this thing, which is the chiseled bit bag, and it has like a lot of the bits from the blocks. So if I have enough, I can just generate a whole bunch of these blocks here. So let's give it a try. First, I'm gonna need a chisel, positive chisel. Need water. Okay. All right. And I think I just boop. Okay. Pop it in there. Okay, I think I have it. I can't see it, but I just keep doing this. This is a bit storage. It has to be next to the chisel station. And it looks like it's slowly creating them. I don't know where these bits are coming from. They're not coming from the block in my hand. So maybe they're coming from my bit bag? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna be here for a while. Just doing this. Alright, so I got about half a stack. Yeah. There we go. What the fuck? Okay. Not bad. Back to doing this. I figured out a better way to mass produce these blocks rather than using the tank and the other thing. That thing was slow and it was broken. I made like a bunch of these blocks and they took absolutely 0 bits. So I stopped using it, and instead I started using these chisel designs. So you can just go over to any one that you want, just press use, and then if you have the bits in your bit bag, you can just make a whole bunch of them. And then you can just place them. So that's what I've been doing instead. Whoa. Yeah, so that's how I finished up everything in here, and yeah, did the banisters. I have the leftovers in my hotbar still. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep working and not create bits out of nowhere. I just made a bunch of these glass panes here. I put a bunch of magenta stained glass and SPS casing bits in the bag, so I'll just show you how that works. And then boom, just take a whole bunch of these. I think if I shift click, it'll just fill my entire inventory, so I will just do 2 stacks. Boom. And then it places everything. Boom. I got the ceiling done, and I started expanding out the basement here. It wasn't that big, but now I am out of blocks, so it's time to craft some more. Let's just do 4,000. So I decided to do a little bit of detailing here. Put a little bit of, I think this is biofuel. Just a purple liquid. Antimatter is purple. SPS casings make antimatter. And you can't get liquid antimatter, so I had to improvise, and I just got some of this stuff to just break up the boring white block. So, but yeah, it's pretty much done. I finished up the basement too. I think I'm ready to start bringing everything in here and finish up this project. Man, I don't even know where to start. I guess with the battery. Oh man, this is kind of sad. I've been in this little hole in the wall for so long. Let's get these two. Alright. It's one machine.
3 weeks later.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies. And gentlemen. I don't use any of this stuff anymore, and I haven't for a while. Same thing with everything up here. I don't need fizzle fuel, so that's all useless to me now. And then this is the HTTP stuff. I don't need that anymore. Oops. So, I mean, the only thing HTTP is used to make is HTTP sheets. And you got this rod, which I think makes a, yeah, plastic. And if you're wondering what this is used for, it's nothing. It's just a meme. I have this nice large base here with pretty much nothing in it. There's not much that I need. I just have like mostly Mekanism stuff and then this one mod, which I haven't really used yet. Take a look down the stairs. So, got my controller for the crafting, and then power generation. So, not a whole lot. This base is just huge. I thought it was going to be tiny with all the stuff I had in that little place, but I don't really need most of it. And I got some friends, so I'm not as lonely. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This base, I tried to make it as purple as I could, so I just made all the mech machines as purple as I could. The pipes, the battery, this took a long time. So you can see this base is wide open in a couple areas. We need the sun for the fuel, for the power generation going on downstairs. So I didn't want to put doors. I thought that'd be ugly. There's no like good purple doors, or maybe there were and I just didn't have the didn't feel like making them. I didn't feel like finding the resources. So but yeah, like there's these shield blocks which are invisible and I can pass through them, but mobs can't, which is really nice. So this place is safe. It's lit up. It's lit. And I just have like this shield thing down here. And this is what it looks like. Can I get through here? Yeah. So I just had to build up all these shield things here just to block everything. And this thing takes like no power, so it's all good. And then when I just hit it with this wrench, boop, goes away. So pretty happy with it. Think it went well. So the only thing that's left is to look at the cost of everything. So surprisingly, it wasn't too expensive. The expense for like steel and redstone and iron and all that stuff was just to get fizzle fuel, to get waste to make those pellets. And it's not looking like a whole lot, but the real cost came from actually making these blocks. So I did make, I think, like 16,000 blocks, but I didn't use 16,000. I only used 13,618. So that is 54,472 polonium pellets and HDPE sheets. So that's a lot. And then it's exactly 13,618 plutonium pellets. So that doesn't seem like a whole lot, but the thing that was hard about it was just the time. So a lot of AFKing in this world and just kind of waiting for things to happen. So it wasn't really that difficult. It was just annoying and long and took a while. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. I'm pretty much done with the base. I have plenty of room, so I will be filling up with the mods I check out in the future. So I'm excited for that. So I have nothing else to say here other than you're welcome.